Alright, so, yeah, I've been gone for a few days, haven't I? I have officially returned. I was at Megacon, as I said at the end of my Fantastic Four thoughts. And yeah, I know a lot of shit happened in between that time. I know, like, on Patreon, I will be doing soon reviews of the episodes I missed because I wasn't home. And I didn't have a way to do a review of those, so I will be doing late reviews of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on or that. Let's just get that out of the way. But I was at Megacon with both my girlfriend and Chris, Mount Vernon kid. We spent the whole day, the whole time in Orlando. Did some stuff. Got to do things I never thought I was possible of doing. So I thought I would just kind of give you a recap. I tend to do these recaps every so often with these videos. And also, you might want to stick around because there's some important shit that's going to be talked about. Yeah, so, first things first. What did I think of the convention? Loved it. Megacon is always a good time, although I will say I didn't realize how hungry I was until we sat down and actually ate, like, proper food, not like snack food, and then I just realized, oh my god, my metabolism is just completely destroyed. I genuinely liked just the atmosphere. There were a lot of good booths. A lot of it I spent not as much money as I thought I would. That's always a good sign when you can not spend as much money as you thought you would. That's a good sign. I definitely really enjoyed this whole thing. Like, this day was like, those days were just phenomenal. Got to do a panel. Got to see a panel with Nicholas Hoult, that most of you guys would know is like he was Hutter in Nosferatu. He was Renfield in Renfield, and he's going to be playing Lex Luthor in Superman in a few months. So that was really cool. Also got to see some comic creators, which I'm going to talk about this right now. I did about 9 interviews with different creators from both artists and writers, and I will be divvying those up in both YouTube and Patreon. So if you want to get there will be exclusive interviews on Patreon, so if you want to check those out, just hit the link in the description below. That will be second tier for the interviews, so if you guys want to check those out, hit the link in the description box below to Patreon and hit the second tier. That'll allow you access to check out the video exclusives on Patreon. But that's where I'm going to be putting my reviews for, like, Ben Percy and Philip Kennedy Johnson and one other. So yeah, I got interviews with Ben Percy, the writer of Wolverine, and Philip Kennedy Johnson, who's been writing Incredible Hulk, as well as, he did Alien, he did Superman the Warworld saga. So I got interviews with them. I also did reviews with Emma Kubert, the start of that interview, okay, Emma Kubert is the daughter of Andy Kubert, and the niece of Adam Kubert. So I accidentally said Emma Roberts for some reason. My brain just went Emma and Roberts, and I just went Emma Roberts at the start, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. But she laughed it off. She even was, like, totally fine with it. After the review, I apologized profusely for that little fuck-up. And she was like, no, it's fine. And she very much lit up, and I asked her some really good questions. Also got to meet Cale New, who is a cover artist. You guys have probably seen a lot of his covers, like Invincible Iron, Jerry Duggan's, oh my god, why can't I say words? Jerry Duggan's Invincible Iron Man run. He did the cover art for that. So I got an interview with him. Also got an interview with Tim Jacobus, the cover artist of Goosebumps. So that was really cool. Also got interviews with Tim Sheardon. Most of you guys would know best as he did the Alan Scott Green Lantern miniseries. He's also done a lot of the animated movies. And also Jeremy Adams, who I've talked nothing but great things about. So those are gonna be some of those are gonna be on Patreon, some of those will be here on YouTube. I'll tell you what else is gonna be on YouTube, and that's gonna be the next video coming up right after this video. Yeah, so we got to see an early screening, that's kind of perfect, of Screamboat. as in the Steamboat Willie horror movie. Yeah, we were basically this. It was a private screening at Megacon for that movie. Outside of Vegas, we were the first people to ever see that movie, and it's not coming out till April. And I will be doing a review of it, so be prepared for that review. You know, for that review coming as the next video. So there, you know, yeah, I got to see Screamboat early. If you want to hear my thoughts, stick around, because that will be later. That will be the next video, because I want to make a whole video dedicated to that movie. So if you want to get my whole thoughts, just wait around a bit. Anyway, so what else? There were so many fucking booths, man. But the thing I love most is I got to spend time with the two people I like. A guy I call my brother. Like, that man has, you know, been through, you know, stuck with me through thick and thin. I've known him for like over 10 years. It's really good. I've met Chris before in person multiple times, but like, to see it, like, it's always a good time, because he lives in New York, I'm down in Florida, you know, it's always good to see him. And I got to spend it with the love of my life. You know, what more can a guy ask for? I'll tell you something else that made me feel really good. I didn't get an interview with them, but I did get to talk to Jim Zub, who, when I did his review, I've been doing reviews of his Conan the Barbarian comics, and I don't know how many people know this recently, but he actually commented on my Conan the Barbarian Volume 3 review and told me how much he loved it, and I actually went there and talked to him. I talked to him because I was like, there's no way he can recognize me. He looked up and was like, oh, it's you, man! So whoever recommended, because apparently it got recommended on one of his live streams, so to anyone who did that, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because not only did he remember me, we got to talk a bit. I also did interviews for David Propose. I forgot to mention, I did interviews for David Propose, the current writer for the new Cable miniseries. He's also doing the Space Ghost comic, and Captain Planet, which he talked in depth with Captain. That's actually my longest review, is David Propose, because he was all excited to talk about Captain Planet. And I got to do an interview with Zeb Wells, which I know some people are cringing at right now, but like, man, I love telling this story, because 2 years ago I did a cosplay of Ben Reilly, and this was right after Ben Reilly became Chasm, and Wells was responsible for that, among other things. But the fun thing was that we actually did a picture, which is somewhere on his Instagram, I think, of me like pretending to strangle him. And Chris was there in a Spider-Man cosplay trying to, like, break us up. It was fun. And he actually, like, I told him, like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but, like, I was the Ben Reilly who choked you. And he's like, oh, yeah, hey, man, what's up? And he looked, like, so it was really cool to do a quick interview with him. So I do also have interviews of Zeb. I do have a Zeb Wells interview. Anyway, so, yeah, and not only that, another person I didn't get an interview with, but I did get to talk to, was Charles Soule, writer for a lot of the Star Wars comics. He also did Daredevil and She-Hulk. I got to do an interview with him. Not an interview, excuse me. I got to talk to him for a little bit, and he actually recognized me. You know, he actually, like, recognized me from my work and said, like, yeah, I've seen some of your reviews. I've heard of you. So I gotta tell you, like, I never thought of myself as, like, a big YouTuber. I never once thought of myself as, like, a big shot YouTuber. In fact, I am a drop in the motherfucking bucket most of the time. Like, it really does feel like there is this, there really is this kind of feeling that I don't do, like, what I'm doing is just kind of, because I've been on this for over 10 years. And to hear the fact that there are content creators, like legit writers, who have heard of me and have seen my reviews is nothing short of... It's nothing short of moving and humbling, you know? I never thought I would get that to that level. You know, I felt like a fucking somebody in that moment. You know, not to quote Penguin, but I kind of feel like I went from feeling like a nobody to a somebody. And, between, certain people telling me what I do ain't good enough, and what I'm doing now is just nothing. It means a lot that I got to do this, and a lot of the credit goes to you guys. So thank you. Thank you for all the subs and the views and the recommendations apparently. So yeah, thank you all. Anyway, I bet you all want to see the swag, right? Right? Yeah. So let's start off with I didn't get a lot of comics. I usually go hog wild on comics, but this year I got actually pretty light comics. It was like other shit that was really good. I can't wait to show you some of it. Anyway, so we're gonna start off with a unique item, a condom from the movie The Fetus. This was from the same production crew as there was a whole horror section in one of the upper levels of Megacon. That's where the live preview of Screamboat was, and one of those movies was The Fetus, and they were giving out free condoms as swag. No, this was not used. Get your mind out of the gutter right now. But I just thought, who the hell? That's actually brilliant. Like a movie about a killer fetus and using condoms as a marketing tool is actually kind of brilliant. So I gotta respect that. I just had to show it. Like, hey, out of all the things, you want to see a fucking condom? Right? So yeah. I just had to, I have to show this to the world. Next up, this shirt I got. This is probably one of the most. I didn't expend a lot of money, but this is definitely one of the most expensive things I got. This is from Arts Cow. My girlfriend kind of talked me into getting this one because I was eyeing. It's a vest, and she was like, "Yeah, that definitely fits your vibe." And I was like, "I don't know." And then I tried it on, and I was like, "Ooh, I like, daddy like." So, yeah. And the guy was pitching a hard sale on this shirt. So I was like, "All right, man, you sold me. You earned it. You earned my money." Now for some fun stuff. So I spent about $15 in stickers. Why? Because fuck you. That was kind of the thought process. Was why? Because fuck you. They're cool stickers, too. But the first two I actually got from some Gravity Falls cosplayers. The cosplayers are really good. It was a Gravity Falls group that was giving out stickers, and they gave us, these Dipper stickers, which I thought was kind of fun. So let's talk about this these ones from, oh god, I forget the name. But it was this little sticker company that had, walls upon walls of $1 stickers, and the group and I were all like, oh no, we spent a lot on stickers. So, got the good feathers. When I saw this, I was like, I have to get good feathers. There's no fucking way I can't. So, also, why not Zoidberg? Yeah, Zoidberg. Oh, and this was a fun one because I was like, I never see anything of this at any convention. Herman Munster from the Munsters. I actually really love the Munsters, even more than the Addams Family. Yeah, I said it. Fight me. But I was like, Herman? I love Herman. Yeah. Now let's get on the dopey stickers. It's all the characters that look like they're running. So I think what I'm going to do is put them on a wall and look like they're on a line. And every time I thought of that, all I could think was that meme of Mr. Blue Sky and all the cosplayers running by. Just kind of think that. But the first one I got is this fucking dope, is Patrick in this fucking dopey face. Patrick, wait! Then we have Bioshock with Would You Kindly on the boot. Always anything Bioshock I love. Then we have Gurr. I think I had Zim at one point, but I think I put him down or lost him. Then we have Shut Up and Take My Money, Fry. Then we have Judge Dredd. The Krusty Burger Seal of Approval. It's not just good, it's good enough. Yeah, I like that one. Then we got Ren and Stimpy. Big Ren and Stimpy fan. Then we have Bender, Godzilla, Ultraman, and finally Darkwing Duck. So those are all the stickers. Next up, we went to a booth because, believe it or not, NASA, like actual NASA, was at the convention, and we kind of we moseyed on over there. They were so cool. Like, NASA was giving away free swag for the shits and giggles, and they were so, like, it was actual, like, it wasn't actually like deckhands or whatever. It was actually like physicists. Like, they actually had people who worked on the fucking space station, and at NASA. And we got to ask all these cool questions. Chris asked a lot of questions about aliens, which was kind of fun. I really also liked their answers, because none of them were like, oh god, this guy. They were more like, yeah, let's talk about the science behind all these movies, because Chris asked, like, questions about, like, Independence Day and what are their thoughts on it, or even, like, Predator. And he actually had, like, a really cool, like, an answer for biology, like, evolutionary biology. We got pictures with them. They were really cool. I asked a lot of questions about, like, since Mars is considered international waters, like, when we eventually get to the point of starting to colonize the planet, all these different nations, how do we differentiate who's on whose side of the fence? Like, that's always been a question for me, and he actually gave a fantastic answer and explanation for it, because I was, like, confused. I was always like, wait, when we start colonizing and other nations follow behind us, like, how do we do that? Like, how do we determine the territories? He also said, like, war is going to be impossible to do in space because space wars are actually super expensive. And I'm like, good point. We also, I did have a few questions about their relationship with Musk, which he was very cheeky about. I'm not going to go further, but I think there were some solid answers there. Yeah. So NASA was actually one of the most fun booths, actually. I'm not going to lie. Like, NASA was definitely a booth that I really enjoyed. Now, let's talk about some swag I got. It's nothing big, but, like, I still like it. The NASA badge right here. I'm a big fan of space. I love space travel and things like that. I love watching whenever I can a rocket launch. I'm always a fan of just seeing that. Yeah. So, to go to seeing the NASA booth was really a good idea. This 2025 calendar, which I have a Cthulhu one already, but I think, like, the thing that makes it so cool is just the imagery, because it's all different points of space, like different planets, and all these beautiful images. I also like that they show the different, like, the rotations of the moon and the sun and everything behind it. I like that. I think that's really cool. This is a solid calendar, if I'm being honest. Chris is definitely going to put his to use, because he said, I don't have a calendar. I needed this. So, yeah. So, yeah. Let's move on to something really cool. I got a bolter. Yeah. I literally got this Warhammer 40k. It is foam. Like, it is, like, hard foam. This is really cool. This is Ultramarines. I was looking hot. There is some stuff of Warhammer, but it's not, like, there yet. There was some stuff of Warhammer, but not a lot of also Salamanders either. But this is cool. Like, this is I really like this bolter. I like it is like a dumb thing. It is painted, but, like, come on, guys, I wanted a bolter. I also wanted a chainsword, but those were like $65. This is cool. I love this. Yep. I'm just gonna put my stuff on my bed because I'm a professional. At least I tell myself I am. Alright, now for some sign shit. Like, now for some legit sign shit. Yeah. So first off, this is from Tim Jacobus, the cover artist of Goosebumps. And he was really nice. He's like this big jovial man, and everything was $20. Everything was super cheap, and like half of his proceeds went to charity, so that was really cool. I actually do have, I don't know if you can see it, but Werewolf of Fever Swamp right down there. It is signed by him, and this is the one the second, like, I I love this one. It's Ghost Beach, and it is signed by Jacobus, as you can see. Yeah, I just love his work, his style, everything. Yeah, I really liked it. He's a very nice guy. I love stopping by. Every chance you get, like, if you see Jacobus, I highly recommend getting a signed print from him. First off, super cheap, and half of it goes to charity. I highly recommend that. I super recommend that. I absolutely recommend it. He's also incredibly nice. He loves talking to people. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Go, if you can. If Tim Jacobus is at, like, a convention you are nearby, I highly recommend it. So here's a fun one. I got to meet Lenore Zane. Don't know who that is? That's the voice of Rogue from the 90s and 97 cartoon. And got it signed. Guess you won't be needing this. Lenore Zane, I actually asked her because she is the voice of Master Cyclonus in Stormhawks. And I asked, so you did a show way back called Stormhawks? I don't know if you remember it. And she's like, oh yeah, I remember it. Like, I love being the villain. Like, she was, like, talking about how much she loved being a bad guy. And, there was a lot of energy for it. And she actually did the Cyclonus voice for me. And I'm like, she's still got it. She was very sweet. Also, Chris also cried when he met her. I'm just saying. He's going to go further in depth, but he cried. He cried. And for the other person, this was a surprise because I didn't know he was going to be here. Marty Gilbert, the voice of courage. We were like walking down the stairs, and then we're like, because there were so many booths, we would turn the corner on a hallway we had seen, and we're like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's how, I don't even think we explored half the goddamn con, but that's kind of the case with most conventions. But we, like, rounded a corner, and there's fucking voice of courage. He was really nice. I asked the question of, like, how you screamed a lot, and he's like, oh, did I? And he goes, how did you keep your voice after doing all those scream takes? And he's like, I went home and I slept and cried. I love that answer. He also gave me a hug. He's a very huggable guy. Yeah. So next up, we have Freddie Williams II. This is the first thing I got signed. Yeah, I think you can see. There it is. There's the signature right there. And it's an homage to the Ninja Turtles #1 from Mirage Comics. It's such a cool, detailed cover. I love Freddie Williams' art. And he's such a nice guy. He's like big and laughing. He's like Santa Claus. He's just like this big jovial man, and I told him, dude, you should have been back on Godzilla vs. Power Rangers 2, which I am actually reading now. That review will be coming sometime soon. I was like, dude, you should have been on the sequel. He's like, I should have been. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, dude, you need to be on like the next Power Rangers Godzilla third one, or if they get to a third one. So yeah, he's really nice. He's very humble. I like it. I like meeting that guy. I wanted to get an interview with him, but there was a lot of people. Yeah. So, next up we're going to do some prints, starting with this Red Dead Redemption one. I love it. I'm a big fan of Red Dead Redemption. So, I don't have a lot of Red Dead, so I thought I'd make a change with that. This is Red Dead Redemption 2, the game that made me cry. Everyone cried. You know why. You know, you're a psycho if you at least didn't get choked up. Then we have this alien art. And I love, like, it's got all these Easter eggs. Like, you got the symbiote, you got R2, you got someone getting face hugged on a shuttle from Starfleet. There's also, like, Groot and Luke Skywalker, and, like, the more you look at it, like, I keep looking at it and finding new Easter eggs in it. It's actually really cool. They also did the art group. Oh God, why am I forgetting them? Because they do good things. They do really good shit. They also did these pieces for one of my girlfriend and I's favorite bands is Ghost, and we basically got we basically got this. I got her this piece for Ghost. It's like a composition music sheet of Ghost and Square Hammer. Her favorite song is Kiss the Goat, Kiss the Go-Goat, but they said, oh, we're working on that next. So I was like, okay, second favorite is Square Hammer. But yeah, that was a fun one. That was really cool. Yeah, so next print, also from these guys, this Ghost Galactus homage. I really like it. I really love just all the details to everything. I think this is supposed to be a homage to Infestasium, if I'm not mistaken. Or Meliora. I can't remember what the next one's. This one's a little spicy, so just warning you now. So there's another group I go to, another one I go to that I like really love, and I actually have the pinup Raven. You can barely see it back there. Don't you fucking judge me. Pinup Lady Demetrescu. I can have waifus too, assholes. So that was really cool. I really love this. I love like. It's a little risque, but I could show that one over the Raven one. I don't think I could get too close with the Raven one. Now, this last print actually was actually given to me by Chris. It was a gift because he got 3 for $50, and we actually gifted him a Rogue from the same artist I got Demetrescu from. But it was this cool Jack Skellington 3D print. It was really cool. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know if I don't want to put pins in it or whatever. I don't think framing it. Definitely got to get like adhesives or something for this thing. Also, finally got Cthulhu Invades Oz. This was the first book of the Cthulhu Invades comics. They're working on. I've done reviews of Wonderland and Neverland. And they're now doing Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. But yeah, this is where it all started, the first book. And they also gave me a free metal bookmark. They also signed it too. Like this comic was actually signed by several of the creators and artists. So I thought that was really cool of them. They were like they weren't trying to be like, oh, I'm not trying to upsell you. Like we really thank you for all that. They were really nice. So it was really cool to see that. Yeah. Alright, now we are officially in the I guess now we're officially in the comics. So, like I said, I didn't get a lot, but what I got was pretty cool. So, like I said, that was the first one, Cthulhu Invades Oz. Next up, Justice Inc. This is a 3-way crossover between the Shadow, Doc Savage, and the Avenger. This is one of the Dynamite crossovers. It was really cool to see. I was very excited to see how this would play out. Yeah. I'm down for it. Next up, I got a lot of Hellboy. I absolutely love Hellboy. So it was really cool to get some Hellboy. Starting off with, this was for $8 for a $25 book. Hellboy, The Bones of Giants. This story is basically Hellboy gets Mjolnir and gets possessed by Thor. And Thor is technically public domain as long as you don't make him look like Marvel Thor. Speaking of Hellboy, Hellboy and the BPRD, both 1955 and 1957. These are like stories of Hellboy and the BPRD during the 50s when he was still young. So I like those. I only have 1953, I think. I need to collect the others. This comic I got on a lark. Like, I just saw it and laughed, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this comic. White Like She. It's basically a gangster's brain gets put in a white woman's body. It's literally like a Grand Theft Auto version of White Chicks. That is the best way I can describe it. It looks so I looked through it and it looks so fucking unhinged, I had to get it. Next up, Volume 1 of The Spider. Chris actually sent me the first few issues, but now I actually have all 3 volumes in trade. David lists The Spider is an awesome run. It's one of those very underrated runs of this pulp character. I really loved it. Next up, JLA presents Green Lantern. It's a collection of Alan Scott stories, which I think like after reading Alan Scott Green Lantern, I thought, okay, I could read more. I could read more Alan Scott. Oh, let's actually save that one for last. Next up, The Spirit. This is the other DC book I got. This is really cool. I love like classic pulp stories, and I never got to read DC Comics Spirit. So to have it done, the only one I have of that is Darwin Cook's Batman: The Spirit crossover. So to read this is really cool. And finally, Ghost Rider: Final Vengeance. This is the end of Ben Percy's Ghost Rider run, and I actually got it signed by Ben Percy. And right after that, we did the interview. So how fucking cool is that, right? He got to talk about like, oh yeah, I got to be metal and all that, and do all of that, all those cool things. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That was my time at Megacon. Yeah. So that was the big thing. Like I said, the interviews, they were recorded on 2 different cameras, so I gotta wait to get those first from people. Top of that, the review for Screamboat will be coming up next, so stay tuned for that. And again, it just blows my mind that like how good Megacon was, and I think it was just accentuated by the people I was with. I think that's what made it better. Last time I did Megacon last year, it kind of sucked because I was alone. I think being with people really helps. You're going to conventions, because that way you can feed off of energy, get to see new shit. Yeah. So this was, and also like again, creators got to see me, so they know who I am. I got to network. Really means something, and a lot of you guys helped with that. The vast majority of you of that help. In fact, I'm making the videos, so I think I should get like 10, 25%. But the vast majority comes from viewers like you. I just sounded like fucking PBS right there, but I really do mean it. Like, that's the thing, is that, yeah, that was the thing, is that it all thanks to you guys for subscribing and sharing the videos and, letting me be able to do shit like this. So from again, bottom of my heart, thank you so much. If you guys went to Megacon, let me know in the comments below what you guys got or who you saw. Just, yeah, comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.